All right, guys, welcome. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday from, well, our time. I don't know what it will be when we release this, but
Stop
when you
breathing into
listen
the
to it,
camera.
as you can see, Spidey likes to breathe
Uh,
into the mic.
no, I put my mic on mute and it's still breathing into it, so I just put myself normal mute. My bad, guys.
I don't think that's how a mic mute works, but okay then. Clearly,
Yeah.
your mic mute doesn't work. How has everyone been? It's only been a week since we last recorded, so how has everyone
Yeah, we're
been?
coming out a little bit earlier than usual so we can get back on the normal schedule.
So, what's everyone done this week? I'd assume not too much has happened, really.
It's been a pretty chill weekend also because it is shorter and not a whole lot has gotten done. It's kind of just been working, just being home, chilling with friends or whatever.
Okay, Spidey.
Going to
Uh,
Wendy's, good shit.
Wendy's has a Discord server.
Dude, that was
Dis-
fucking jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Discord.gg/Wendy's. Yes. I've been working surprisingly.
How's it going? Have you settled
It's
in? What's the people like?
well, only 3 of us have 8-hour shifts, so it's pretty solid, and I'm one of those three.
Okay, and
It's
what are the other
pretty
two like?
calm. One of them is in charge of everything, and the other one's the one who hired me. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm liking it. I can't. I don't want to give too much away, but basically, where I work, I'll feel bad if I half-ass my job, so I can't half-ass my job, right? So I actually work, which is so it's like. I mean, I'll talk more about it off air because I don't want people to know. But yeah, so
As
basically,
long as
yeah,
you're enjoying it.
no, yeah, it's very fun. It's very relaxing. There's AC because weather has been
That's the
utter
best
shit.
Yeah,
part
you
about it.
really need AC.
So it was great. It's great. Nice comfy chair, nice little desk. It's all good. It's all good. 8 hours. The only thing I don't like is the drive because if I take the freeway, it'll take me about an hour and a half because it gets clogged. If I take the street, it takes me about 30 to 40 minutes to get home or to get to work. So it's not too bad. But I just hate driving. Um, Other than that, I'm planning a trip in December to visit my mama, who I have not seen in almost 2 years. So it's gonna be great. If all
Mama
goes
Spidey.
well, Mama Spidey, the one who raised me, to have these
Spider Mama.
to have these takes and have this very over the top personality.
You know, listen to the
Uh,
podcast and be like, I didn't teach you the shit.
you'd be like, "What the fuck you said, boy?" No, I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, I haven't seen her in almost 2 years, so it's gonna be great to see her again. I'm probably gonna break down and cry because I'm a mama's boy. Um, but yeah, everything's looking up. I'm happy. My health is good. I still need to lose weight. But health wise, I'm doing good. Work wise, I'm doing good. Everything's going good so far. Knocking on wood. Praying to the RNG Jesus and the heavens that it stays going consistently well. And yeah, that's been my week. What about yours?
Yeah, nothing too much. My sister told me that they're moving to somewhere like the countryside. So we live in London, so it's a very busy life, and it's not exactly the best place to raise kids. I would argue it's not a bad place because I grew up here, but then again, look how I turned out. Um, so she wants to move. The only issue is she's kind of getting divorced at the moment from my brother-in-law. So, but I don't know. I haven't really. She told me she wants to move. Dad and I are a little bit. I'm not going to say upset about it. It's just because it's going to be 2 hours away, and he's not going to see his grandkids. So he's a little bit like down. But
He's a little
it'll
hurt.
be a better life for the kids. So that's what really matters. So sometime next month, we're going to have to go over and help her um, pack her shit and so on. But other than that, work is the normal. Clients are bitches. We've got a new employee actually. She's doing all right. It's only been 3 days, so she hasn't done anything that's annoyed me yet. So that's good. But other than that, life is the same for me. Not much else is happening.
All right, so that's good. It seems like everybody's week has been going relatively well. I mean, we did record last week. After this week, we should be back on track because we're trying to do one release every fairy tale chapter, which is once every 2 weeks. So after this week, don't expect to see us for another 2 weeks if you're lucky. No, I'm just kidding. If all goes well and we stay consistent, it'll be 2 weeks. But a bit of news: the Eden Zero anime came out on Netflix. So
Yes, it did.
stream it, watch it, support it legally. And yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We do have a couple of topics. The anime, of course, which King could finally take part of. The Eden Zero manga, 100 Years Quest, and then we're gonna have a conversation that will probably last a very long time about Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Say at
Depends on
least
how
like half
much,
the
people-
podcast, roughly.
Yeah.
But before we start all that, King, we need to know, why did you cut out and censor our podcast last week?
Oh yeah, no, I just didn't want y'all calling my friend a hoe, basically.
I mean, you're the one who called her a hoe.
I didn't use the word hoe.
You didn't use the word, but that's
If-
basically what you were
if-
saying.
That's
it
really not what I
quacks-
said.
If it quacks like a duck, if it acts like a duck, it's not a fucking zebra. It's a duck.
You
But
don't have
sure,
to call
but
it a
consider
duck to know
this.
it's a duck.
Consider this. There's also occasionally going to be the odd man who's dressed up like a duck trying to confuse people. So what you have to do in those situations is not assume that they're a duck. You have to go in and investigate that shit.
Yeah,
And
but he's
neither of
still
you
a
can
duck.
do neither. That's not a duck.
It's still
It's
a
not.
duck.
It's a no. It's
How-
how is it a fucking duck? It's
if
a
he's
man.
quacking like a duck, and he looks like a duck, it's a duck.
Okay, so if a kid runs around roaring, is the kid a dinosaur?
Yeah,
Did you
sure.
just- did you just-
No, that's
did
not
you
how
just-
that shit works. You don't get
did
to
you-
decide your fucking species.
Hold on. Did he? You just
Seem like a duck.
the
I know
only
what the
way-
fuck a dinosaur is.
Look,
The only way this could be resolved is if you release that cut and you let the people decide.
Well, yeah, but we were talking about that before the podcast. That's the bloopers reel.
Okay, there you go. Well, tell them more about this bloopers reel thing we're doing.
Well, yeah, it's just like, before the podcast, like actually, like before the like when we start the podcast, we bring up Craig and Pawa. So like if you think about it, like half of the bloopers reel will be now recording, now recording, now recording, now
and then me
recording.
bitching about the now recording.
Yeah, exactly. But like, yeah, no, some shit happens there. But like, then we scrub a little bit, and then we jump to Dav saying, "Hey guys, what's up? We're here for the podcast and blah blah blah." So I like that stuff. Plus whatever happens at the end after we all say goodbye, and then Spider-Man says something like, "God damn it! I hope this shit actually recorded this time," or whatever. And then put that together, and that's the bloopers reel. It's simple.
And then the occasional, oh god, I need a shit. I'll see you
Yeah,
guys
something
next
like
week.
that. He actually said that before we started the recording because like I was talking about my bagel, and then he's like, "I need to go take a dump."
I said, all right. I said, all right. I'll go take a shit.
All right, so let's go
whatever.
back to the kid and the dinosaur, right? I think if he's roaring and he wants to be a dinosaur, who are you to dash the kid's dreams?
But how do you know the roar is the dinosaur roar?
That's my question. Is he a dinosaur?
How do you know it's a roar of a dinosaur? It could be a roar of a tiger, of a cat.
Yeah, it could be. So let's not
mosquito.
make the assumption that they're one or the other. You go in and investigate that shit.
The point is, you call them a hoe.
I didn't
Without
call nobody a
value.
hoe. I don't use that word.
You just used it.
No, I didn't.
You just said the word. Look, we can go back into the recording.
I didn't call her a hoe. I
You
used the word. It's
said
not
you
the
don't
thing.
use that word, but you just used that word.
All right. Well, I don't call people the word. I just use it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, that's fair. That's but you see,
You,
it doesn't
you
mean that
did
you don't
not-
imply it. See, I don't call
Well,
people
that's,
stupid,
that's down to your interpretation, though. And
Look,
you're,
I don't call
you're,
people
you're a
stupid,
special
but I make
person,
them
Dad.
realize they're stupid.
Well, yeah, I feel like that goes 50-50.
damn, King's a little spicy today.
It's almost like you brought up Lasana or something.
or happy.
Or well, we will bring up Happy in the fairy tale thing, but let's save that for later.
Okay, so what I think we should do, I know we've got easy anime then manga, but I think let's do the
Yeah.
easy manga first because it's one chapter. Get
Okay.
out the way, and then King comes back, and then we can go from anime to the 100-year quest into Spider-Man. Because that way, King isn't here, then not here, then here.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So I will dip for a bit, and you guys can tackle the Eden Zero chapter.
Got it.
Catch you later.
See,
Alright, in a
go
bit,
eat your
G.
bagel, pizza, whatever the fuck you eat nowadays.
Well, I just ate the bagel, so I'm not hungry yet.
So now he's putting a pizza on.
You're right. Hey, that sponsorship. We forgot the sponsorship. All right.
That's why you censored it. Oh my days, because you can't have that talk in an Amazon spot. Oh, it makes so much sense. Holy shit. Okay, now now we get it. All right, that's fine.
Oh, King fucking hates us. This is fucking
He's
funny.
fuck these guys.
He's like this motherfucker.
I'm gonna leave the podcast now.
No, you're not.
So chapter
No,
one,
you're right. I'm not, but sometimes I wanna.
chapter 156. It is the Beast Lord. It's a nice little cover. And
The only thing I don't like about the cover, but it's just because of the perspective, because it's all sideways.
Mhm.
The food's falling. They're
It's
dropping the food.
No, it's gravity magic. Remember?
Yeah,
Or not gravity
okay.
magic. Gravity
Ether. Yeah, but where's the food going now? They've rotated their gravity, so now where's the food going, bruv?
You're over analyzing a fucking picture, so you gotta calm down.
They paid for that. They already broke as shit. Rebecca
mean,
still can't get views.
I mean, how do you know they paid for it?
I mean, I would hope they
Are
paid for
you
it.
just assuming now? You're just assuming, bro. First, you assume someone's species.
I didn't assume the species.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That was King. That was King.
Exactly.
Right,
Gosh.
you're
No, but the cover is really nice, though. I do like
Yeah.
it.
They're in little kimonos. I think that's how you say it. Kimono.
Kimono. I like the fish, the little robot fish that's flying.
Yeah, it's very creative. I like it.
I've got to say that Mashima's art is. So I had a little. I say reread. It was more. I went to the early chapters just to compare them to the manga, to the anime, and while the art has always been really good, you can see the improvement. Massive, like not a massive change, but it's enough of a significant change for you to notice the little details when you go look back at it. And it's really nice because I think Mashima's art style was really solidified in Eden Zero. And then we see him obviously with the Gate of Nightmares, whatever the game's called. Yeah, Gate of Nightmares with the character designs. It's really, really solidified and it's great.
Yeah. Early Eden Zero does look a lot like Fairy Tail, but again, that's because he had just finished working on that series. So I don't. When people complain that it looks like Fairy Tail, like, what the fuck do you want it to look like, bro? Like, he just came from working on that series. But yeah, the art style is very nice. The cover is very cute. I like their little kimonos. The gravity you're complaining about, I feel like, sir, you gotta relax. This is Wendy's.
Kino's little kimono's cute.
Yeah, I like how Shiki's in the background, like, or in the front, and like, yo, what up, bro? What you want? What you want?
So this chapter we had the return of Xiaomei.
Lolly.
Yeah.
Lolly.
Well, she's not. I wouldn't say she's a lolly person. I'll say she's the bridge between.
The bridge between a lolly and a non-lolly.
Yeah, she's not quite Wendy, right? She's not actually this. She's not quite Hermit, right? But she's not quite Homura. She's like the bridge in between. It's like Lobelia. She's like in that area where she's not a lolly, but she's young.
That's such an insult too.
I meant, you know what I fucking meant.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
I always enjoy when she shows up though, because I feel like she is one of the
worst characters in the fucking series who should fucking get dismembered and die a brutal death.
I'm not talking about Lobelia, I'm talking about fucking Xiaomei.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Xiaomei. I don't know if you've read Dragon Ball. I know you've seen it, but I don't know if you've read it.
Yes. The original?
Yeah. So
yeah.
You remember when Toriyama used to put Toribot in the back?
Yes.
In like tiny random panels. Whenever she shows up, I kind of get the same feeling I used to get when I was reading Dragon Ball with that, because she's this out of universe person within the story who's just narrating to us, and you know she knows everything that's gonna happen. She knows what's happening. She's just chilling. She's just there to say, "Oh, hey guys, so this is where we're at." It's really nice, and it reminds me of the Dragon Ball narrator as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's very nice. She kind of hints also when she's appearing. She hints at shit that might happen or has happened. So it's a good little callback. It's a good way for Mashima to insert himself and remind us of what's going on without actually doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, because you talked about Hermit, Can we just confirm that she's no longer she should no longer be considered a lolly the way Mashima's been drawing her?
Again, I've never considered her a lolly. I've considered her on the same page of Wendy, where Wendy's not a lolly, but she's a child. Because to me, a lolly is more someone who just looks too small compared to, I don't know how to explain it, like Kana from Dragon Maid. That's a lolly, or a Lulu, whatever her new name is. Whereas Wendy, I see more as just a child. Child versus lolly to me is there's a fine line between it.
Because the way he drew her, she has
thick, bruv. It's
thicker
crazy.
hips than fucking Witch and Sister Ivory, bro.
I will say I do think the hips on Hermit look a little bit out of place. I don't know if you agree.
I just think they're thick as fucking hips, bro.
So I kind of put Hermit, and I always have, in the same category as Wendy, as a child. She's like the child of the group.
That confused me. Okay, that's fine. I think.
What confused you?
Because you said you see her as a child of the group, so does that mean you see her as a lolly? Because for me, lolly means like kid.
No, so for me, a lolly typically is like, if I were to put it in age range, I guess I would say like a lolly is basically anyone under like 12, or they're 1,000 years old, but they look like a kid, like that kind of situation.
Okay.
A child to me is like basically like a teen up until like 16, 18 area. Especially the younger end. So like Wendy and Hermit, I kind of consider them like 13, 14.
Well, Wendy is confirmed to be that around that.
Yeah,
age.
That's what I mean. So like, that's kind of where I put them.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I still don't think she's. I think she's above that. But anyway, it's fine. It's just because I've seen so many people say, "Oh, she's a lolly. She's a lolly." It's like, shut the fuck up. She's not a fucking lolly, you dumb piece of shit. But it's fine. Going back to Xiao Mei, what did you think of her little recap of what's going on so far?
I like it a lot because a few podcasts ago, I did make a point that the one thing I don't like about this arc is it feels like they are throwing too much into it. There's too much going on at the same time. Now, it's been broken up quite well because it's not like they're chopping and changing within the chapter. Each chapter is a different situation, so it's easier to follow. But the thing is, and I've seen a lot of people complain about this, there's so much going on that people are struggling to remember just names. I mean, Eraser, I forgot that guy's name until I saw him again. And when they mentioned him in another chapter, I was like, who the fuck is Eraser? And then I had to go and check, and then I remembered. So there's too much going on. So Xiao Mei kind of having her appear, she's like, yo, look, this is what's happening. Just to remind you, we got Ziggy with his plot of the uprising, and we got Nero's son Shura has made a way to destroy androids. So she's kind of helped break it up again, which is nice.
Yeah.
That's what I love about Xiao Mei, is whenever she comes in, she kind of simplifies things and reminds you, yo, this is what's happening. This is what we're going to see. This is what I'm hoping will happen.
Yeah. I kind of disagree. I mean, I agree that there's a lot going on. But I kind of like the fact that a lot is going on because it's going on at the same time, right? It's not one thing happens and another thing is happening. It's more like all these events are happening simultaneously, and it makes it feel like a more alive world. If that makes sense.
I completely agree. It's just it makes it a bit harder to follow.
Oh no, yeah, it could be overwhelming at times. I definitely do see your point there, and I do agree there. But I feel like I like that because it was Fairy Tail. It really didn't feel like that. The only time it felt like that was during the fights, and even then, it's like, okay, one fight is happening, then we're gonna get exposition, and we're gonna go move to another place and have a fight there. So I'm liking that Mashima, as an author and writer, has kind of interwoven his fights where it seems like they're overlapping and taking place at the same time. And yeah, I just like that. And yes, people, I will not try to make as many FT comparisons so Dav doesn't yell at me again. Moving on from Xiao Mei. what did you think of Jaguar? Because this entire chapter is about Jaguar, basically.
Okay, so we've always known Jaguar was someone not necessary to mess with, just because he was the leader of the rebel. I forgot, but Laguna's old group. And
Jaguar is the one in charge of the Oración Seis.
is he?
Yes. He's the
Oh wait, it's the cat. It's the fucking cat that's in charge of Laguna's old group. My bad.
Yes.
Yeah. So with him now, the Ration says we've had a look at him and we've seen what they're capable of. A lot of them are very strong members, and we've seen they're a little bit dysfunctional, but then they know what they're doing. So for someone like Jaguar to come in and basically solo fucking Poseidon's team on his ones, I wasn't too surprised. However, I did thoroughly enjoy it because it was pretty brutal. I mean, the first slash we see, he just fucking tore the man apart in one slash. And I've got to say, I'm looking forward to seeing more of Jaguar, not just in this arc, but in the future, because I have a feeling it's going to happen more.
Holy shit balls. Okay, continue.
And then, now, obviously Jaguar's got the quote-unquote main... He's one of the main cast right now with this arc, so he's obviously going to be the stronger lot out of the fodder. But the fact that he's still capable of easily just swiping through them all with basically one swipe.
And even one of the Ocean Six too.
And then Fabiano gets fucking clapped in one go.
Dude was Fabian channeled his inner God Serena, bro.
No. Fabian was Goku versus Broly, bro. He got slammed across that wall and dragged.
Oh, that's true.
It was brutal. The first punch landed, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I just see Jaguar's eyes, and it was game over, bro. Holy shit, man! Got dragged.
I don't think he's dead, but he's pretty sure
he's definitely. I mean, his ether gear's down. The dude is he's unconscious as shit, bro.
Nah, the next chapter is gonna be fucking insane.
I don't think the next chapter is. I think it'll be the chapter after. I think the next chapter is gonna be all talk because
no. He says Nero, and then Nero's like, "Patience, you are not my only guest."
Yeah, and then we got
Ziggy is there, bro.
Yeah, but now you see, this is why I don't think there's gonna be a fight next chapter. I think it's gonna be Ziggy and Nero having a little chat because obviously now they have history. Jaguar doesn't necessarily have history with Ziggy. Maybe he has got with Nero, but like the crime boss situation, but not on a personal level. So I don't think there's going to be much of a fight. I think it will be a dialogue-heavy chapter, and then the next one after will be a fight.
But Ziggy's not one to talk a lot. He's one to fight.
You're not wrong. But
we literally just saw Jaguar come in and start clapping these motherfuckers left and right.
Out of those lot that fight right now, I have a feeling Ziggy will win. Then again, we don't know Poseidon's powers. We know his fucking dice roll, man. The D&D DM. Fucking, haha, dice. Oh no, I'm a little bitch because of the dice. But I have a feeling Ziggy should take this fight. But then again,
that panel though, bro, where the three of them, it's just their face.
Yeah.
Ziggy, Nero, and Jaguar. They're all looking. Ziggy looks creepy as shit. Nero looks like
Nero's design is cool, but it's just so weird to look at. Man's just a fucking walking, talking octopus, bro.
You're not wrong.
Jaguar, I have to say, his Jaguar form is actually really nice. It's not over the top. It's very simplistic, and it suits him really well. I'm glad Mashima did it in a simple form rather than having this over the top Jaguar design, Avengers level shit.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm interested in that. And then we transition to fuckboy Shura.
Dude, Witch, look at her fucking leg. Look at her leg, bruv.
Oh, I see it, bro.
It's hanging. Her other arm is hanging. Her left arm is hanging as well.
She's an android for sure, bro.
Dude, I hope Shiki doesn't see Witch like this because he's gonna lose the shit. Might as well go overdrive too, bruv.
There was so the Edith Zero Reddit. One of the memes said, "Do not bang the machines." And then on the bottom there was like, "These are the exception," and it was Witch and Sister Ivory, and I was laughing so hard. I was like, that's something Shura would do, bro.
Fuck's sake.
But yeah, she looked completely destroyed.
Hypothetical question. Now, I know Ziggy doesn't care about Eden Zero anymore and its crew. But how do you think Ziggy would react if he saw what Shura was doing to Witch?
He would care because she's a robot, not because he cares for her.
Yeah, but now, do you think it would be... Do you think he would go into a rage about it? Or do you think it would just be he's not happy, if you know what I mean?
He would attack, but it would be like a calm attack, right? Where he's like, yeah, okay, I'll fuck you up just because you're being a dumb bitch. But he wouldn't. Okay. How do I? Okay. Sorry, fair. This is the best I can give you fairy tale wise. When Makarov attacks an enemy, and because he's angry, okay, or because he's upset, versus when Natsu attacks an enemy because his fucking friend is hurt, right?
One's senseless and one isn't.
Yeah. So you put it perfectly. So he would attack, but he wouldn't be. He'd be like, okay, yeah, she's a robot. I'm for robot lives. I'm for us taking over the world or the universe. And you're hurting a robot, or an android. So I will attack you. But here's the thing. I'm sorry. This is where it's confusing though, because remember, when Pinot chose between Shiki and Ziggy, Ziggy basically disowned Pinot and said, "Do what you want. Well, I don't care for you no more." So I don't know if he would actually care enough to help.
I guess he might have the mentality of if anyone's gonna erase the shining stars, it's gonna be me.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Could be one of those situations.
But yeah, if the moment Shiki sees this, he's about to go fucking Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Ether Gear.
Just overdrive 2, bro. Electric Boogaloo. Dude, we've had so many overdrives, it's unreal. Holy shit, I've started losing count.
There is a bunch of overdrives.
So now that final panel where he's like, I'm getting tired of playing with you. I think the next chapter is when he's going to start doing shit to her.
Oh, and he also talked about how if Ziggy and my old man fight each other, one of them's going to end up dead, and my money's on Ziggy winning that one. So he's basically agreeing that his dad will probably kick the bucket.
Dude, this is where you find out that fucking Nero is like universal power level, bro. Man just comes out of nowhere and is like, nah, blood. I'm fucking one-shotting both of you. I wouldn't necessarily hate that though, if I'm honest.
I worry for Witch. I worry for her. She might kick the bucket. Quite literally.
She might go overdrive.
No, she can't, because she's already gone overdrive.
Yeah, so she might go it again. Nah, this is just me hoping. I don't think she'll kick the bucket. You know why? Valkyrie was removed, all right? But story-wise, all right, her removal, while it was pretty emotional and I fucking hate it, we had Homura. She trained Homura. Witch hasn't had it. There's no one to replace Witch.
We have the Winds of Eden now, though.
No, but it doesn't matter because
I get what you're saying. There's no direct replacement.
Because she's the shield.
Yes, but Mashima could be like, we lose the shield, but we gain the winds.
Yeah, but the win. Yeah, but that doesn't.
No, I'm just saying he could do that. I'm not saying he will. I hope
I
he
don't
does.
think so because I feel like he knows that would be shit. Yeah, we haven't met anyone else with shield ether.
She does. I don't. She has a fuck ton of ethers. I don't know.
No, she's got shield ether, element ether. I think it was called.
Yeah, the four
and she's got a battle dress. She hasn't actually got overdrive. That was battle dress.
She's got a bunch of shit. But I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. No, it was. She wasn't. She didn't go overdrive. She went battle dress. All the China stars have a battle dress.
I don't think androids or robots could go overdrive.
Maybe.
Unless Ziggy has done it.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm just hoping she don't kick the bucket because she nice to look at.
I don't think she will. I don't think so. Unless it's one of those situations where she gets hurt so bad she loses her memories. And then now that it's a quest to find the memories, which I would actually hate because I hate memories.
I don't think they would be able to replace them. I mean, maybe Hermit could restore them because she is the tech savvy one, but I think they've made it clear that Hermit's capabilities can't restore memories. Because if I remember correctly, they tried that with Valkyrie or whatever, and they're like, "Nah, she's too far gone. I can't do it." So I don't know. Chapter was lit as fuck though.
Yeah, it was great. So I think the next that was 156.
Yeah.
I feel like how long do you think we have left of the arc?
I think we have ways to go. We still have Shura. We still have his royal concubine. His royal.
Okay, so we've got to deal with We've got to deal with
his
Nero. To get to Shura, we've got to go through his hoe.
Yeah, so we need Eraser and the Interstellar outside.
So we've got at least 5-6 major battles to resolve before.
And don't forget, we still have Laguna. We haven't really seen Laguna or his boy. So yeah, there's still a lot left in this arc, but it's not dragging like another series.
Yeah.
So God. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Well, I'll give the chapter a solid I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Maybe a 10 out of 10 actually. It was solid.
Yeah, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 just because I liked it. I didn't like the way Fuckboy Shura acted, but it's in his nature. And then I'm just waiting.
And a lot happened. A lot
happened. Yeah.
And all of the stuff that happened progressed the story as well. It wasn't just a lot happening for the sake of happening. It happened to actually give us a reason. We
get introduced to the new combat of the Interstellar guy, the leader. we get a return of Ziggy,
and we're finally going to see Nero get off his ass and do something.
Yep, and we saw Xiao Mei just recapping everything that's going on so far because it's a lot to digest. And of course, we see Shura hurting. He gropes and basically violates Witch, and then he's like, I'm getting tired of playing with you, bitch. The fuck you mean, bro? You're not. No, it's fine. I'm just waiting for Ziggy.
Don't worry, someone's gonna come fuck him up.
I'm waiting for Shiki to show up, go on his overdrive mode, and clap them cheeks and be like, "You're gonna take it now, boy." I'm just kidding. But I do want him to get fucked up pretty bad.
Okay, I don't think there's much more I have to say about the chapter.
No, great chapter overall. Comixology, Zuki, Bookwalker, Crunchyroll, all the legal venues for
Hello.
That. So yeah, that was the review of Eden 0 156. On to the anime of Eden 0. Like we said, it is on Netflix. Season 1, Part 1. First 12 episodes. It is in both sub and dub. we will be not recapping, mostly reviewing the first 3 episodes. We're gonna try to do it in little increments so we not overwhelmed by just watching it all at once. So
What we
King,
could quickly do,
yes.
since the dubcast never got announced until it dropped,
Yeah.
just quickly mention who's in it. So with Shiki, we've got Sean Chiplock. He does Subaru in ReZero. For those of you who play Genshin, he's Diluc. He's also done where is it? A lot of JoJo fans. He's Kaido Mister and Sorbet or Sorbet. So he's done. It's not like he hasn't had any crucial roles. So it's nice to have. He's experienced, and he's doing. We'll get onto it, but he seems to be doing a good job. We've got Rebecca is Kira Buckland. Now, I hadn't actually heard of her myself until now. She does Beatrice in ReZero. Quite a bit of ReZero cast. She does Hayuri in Tower of God. And she does Mitsuri Kanroji in Demon Slayer. The pink head chick with the big boobs.
That doesn't narrow it down since most of them have.
But they don't have pink hair.
Oh, that's fair.
Tia Ballard has returned for Happy. So we should all know who she is. If you don't, she's Eatski from QQ. Now we've got Ray Chase for Weiss. This one out was a little bit of a surprise for me. But again, another ReZero cast. Roswell or whatever the person's name is.
Rooswa.
One. For those of you who like One Punch Man, Piri Piri Prisoner. Bruce from JoJo's. And Winter Soldier from Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Pino is Sarah
Marvel
Williams.
Ultimate Alliance? No, that was Crispin Freeman who did Winter Soldier
I don't
in
know.
that
He's
game
listed
from
on there.
2006.
Oh, Marvel Alliance 3. Sorry, I should have said 3.
Okay, there you go.
Damn,
so
King's
Pino
over here educating the shit out of you. Sorry.
is
Okay, chill
Sarah
out.
Williams. To Your Eternity is very popular right now. It's March from that. If anyone's watching that, ReZero again. It's Felix. Oh fucking hell! Isn't that the trap? Ruka from Rent a Girlfriend.
Ruka, best girl.
Susamaru from Demon Slayer, for those of you, and Claire and Whitney from Pokemon. Okay, cool. And then we've got Homura, best girl. Laura Stahl. I think it's Stahl. Stahl. Thorfinn from Vinland Saga. Let's see what. Mammy from Rent a Girlfriend. Oh, she's the voice actor that got attacked. Fucking.
She got attacked.
Not physically, because she voiced Mammy, who's obviously the bitch of Rent a Girlfriend. Whenever she was in an episode, she got a lot, and I mean a lot of hate mail. It was pretty.
Yeah, people are fucking stupid.
It was pretty actual.
Why are they attacking the actor like the actor got anything to do with it?
I don't know. It was pretty awful to see.
It's obviously not logical, but it happens.
Yeah.
Like, look at the kid who played Joffrey in Game of Thrones. Like, how much shit that guy got.
Oh, that guy deserved it.
No, he doesn't.
I'm kidding. I'm just saying the character was kind of
And then
yeah, of course the character
players,
was, but it's like the actor is clearly doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Dav, you were saying the last one?
For those who play games for Genshin, she used Barbara from there. So the cast is actually a really nice cast. They're not inexperienced, but they're also not, the high end, like crazy. They're actually a very nice cast to have overall. And having Tia Ballard back as Happy, I think was a really nice, because I think the Japanese voice actor is also Happy.
Yes, it's the same one.
So it's a nice little comparison that happened. I wonder if that was intentional.
It was probably intentional, because at least in the Japanese, because I know Mashima was working very closely with the Japanese, with the anime studio, because he was tweeting about that shit a lot during the summer or before it aired, talking about suggestions and stuff. So that was probably intentional. So King, since you've talked about Eden Zero, what?
Yeah.
Okay. So episode 1 is Into the Sky Where Cherry Blossoms Flutter. What did you think of the episode?
I mean, it's a good adaptation. I know it's based on the first chapter, which I read, way back when, and I didn't really have any problem with it. I thought for the most part, I watched the dub for the record, because that was just the default on Netflix. I thought it was fine. Like it was well acted. The animation looked good enough. I thought the colors were really good, but let's be real, colors look good in most things these days, so it is what it is. Yeah, no, like I thought it was like a solid overall like first episode that if I were to say like, hey, if you're interested in like a sci-fi-ish anime with admittedly a bit of a weird sense of humor, this might just be a good recommendation for me to give to somebody.
And what did you think of the? So you saw the dub, you said. So what did you think of the dub overall?
Yeah, no, it was chill.
Did you feel like the voice actors fit the voice of the
Yeah, they
character?
were close enough.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I don't know, like maybe I'd feel like the Japanese was better because like your Japanese usually is better, but it would depend on me seeing that first. But as far as this quality dub goes, I didn't have any like major issues with it. Like, oh, this guy did a very bad job at this character's voice. I'm like, no, it was fine. I didn't have any complaints worth raising.
Okay. Dad, what did you think of the first episode? I know you saw it way back when.
Um, I liked it a lot. Now, when I first read the manga and I read the first chapter that was adapted, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was really nice. And then when I was watching it now in um in the anime, I've seen it in sub and dub.
Mm-hmm.
I will have to say, I feel like Eden Zero had in my personal opinion, a weak start. Just because
What do you mean by
so
that?
I don't really know how to word it properly. The first half of the episode where we're meeting Shiki and you meet all the robots and then Shiki does his dumb shit and he looks up her skirt and all of that, right? As comical as it is, it honestly wasn't that great. Like it wasn't all that. The second half, then once the robots go, "Brr, I'm bad, haha, kill everyone," right? It kind of picks up because then we get the show off of the ether gear. It's our first experience of the magic in the world. The fight was beautifully animated, and this gives me a lot of hope for a lot of the fights that are going to be upcoming. And there wasn't a lot of still shots, which was great. That's what I think was amazing. But overall, I just feel like Eden Zero has a bit of a weaker start off to the series, but it picks up pretty quickly. I'd say it picks up from about episode 3, 4, properly. But then it starts setting its own little. It finds its footing after the first arc, I guess. Basically, like the first 12 episodes.
Okay. And did you happen to see the dub or sub?
Yeah. I'm primarily a dub watcher because I'm too lazy to fucking read because I can't read. If there is a dub, I will watch the dub of something. But if there isn't, well, then I'll just watch the sub. I can suck it up. Like the weeklies, always I watch subbed. But I think the dub is very good. And I can see the dub being as popular as the Fairy Tail dub was.
Yes.
Because the Fairy Tail dub was very well done and was very popular. So I can see the In Zero dub being, I'm not going to say the same level of popularity because I don't think it will reach Fairy Tail's levels, considering that too many people refuse to watch it because it's like Fairy Tail, design wise. But I do think the dub is going to be popular. I haven't seen a single person. Granted, I haven't really looked outside the server and I haven't looked outside of the Reddit. So I haven't been like onto Mel and I haven't been onto Twitter too much to see it. But I haven't seen anyone turn around and say, "Yo, the dub shit." I've seen one person, but they're also, the kind of person who says that dub shouldn't exist, so they're irrelevant. But yeah.
Yeah, basically. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Um.
What about
So
you?
yeah, I liked it a lot. The opening was beautiful. I do agree that the first chapter does feel very fairy tale esque. And again, we've talked about this in the past. I feel like that's more intentional because he had just worked on
I
it.
honestly, between the two series, like would feel that this was more similar to the first like opening or whatever of Rave Mastered than Fairy Tail by comparison.
Okay, okay, that's fair. Because for me, it felt more like fairy tale because it just seemed like Shiki was the equivalent to Lucy and Rebecca was the equivalent to Natsu with like their interactions and how they they acted.
Yeah, I get you. I don't know. Like I thought that this first episode was chill and as good as like a first episode, but it's like
Yeah. Uh huh.
I think like it partly also because like it came out so soon after Fairy Tale was
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
like and like we're all a lot more on the internet now than we were way back when. So I think the comparisons carried over and a lot of them were intentional because Mishima was banking on it.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I was gonna get to. I was like, yeah, the first few will feel very fairy tale like because Mashima is banking on the fact that his past when he started the manga, it was a year after he had finished Fairy Tale, so he's just gonna bank on the success he had on that. Which again, no faults of his own. I would have done that too. So I'm happy. I loved the dub. I thought Sean Chiplock did a great job as Shiki. I can't wait to see more of him. I can't wait to see him in certain manga chapters being adapted because that'll be intense. Chapter 82, 83, 84, 85, all that. But yeah, overall great first episode. What would you So there's two other episodes. If you guys if King, if you want to just give your overall thoughts on either one of them or both.
Uh yeah, they were both good episodes. I think the third episode's ending in particular will give people a lot of like WTF vibes, understandably. But in terms of like episode 2, I thought it was like, pretty good, a little bit more info on Rebecca and Happy, that scene of him like dying in the street, like damn, that was great. But other than that, I thought that episode was pretty solid, and in terms of
You're
episode 3,
so
it was good.
you're so evil. Oh my god. Yeah. So yeah, we knew you were gonna love episode 2 with the brutal murder of Happy.
Mm-hmm.
So that was expected. But yes, going back to your episode 3, what the fuck moment. Yeah, when they first came out of the manga, we were like, "What in the fuck is this?" Because it's like a flash forward 20,000 years,
Yeah.
and it's her B cube, and you're like, "Wait, what the fuck?" So yeah, shit isn't confusing.
You don't have to give me the details, but like, does it get explained in the manga to the extent that you've read it?
For what's this?
The flash
What?
forward to 20,000 years. It kind of does, and it kind of doesn't. I could say that.
I'll be blunt. We haven't really had much of a interaction back on that yet, but it's not being completely ignored.
To be fair, though, Xiao Mei kind of does mention certain things.
That's what I mean. So Xiao Mei
yeah.
is like the narrator of the show, basically. She's like the out of universe.
Well, she's in universe,
person.
but
in universe, out of universe person. She knows all, sees all, kind of thing. She has touched upon it, and she has, which is how we know it's not just been.
It's not just a throw off. Yeah.
Yeah. We just haven't been in a situation in the story yet where that has been a topic or a need yet. It will happen, I'm sure, because it is quite a detrimental time change, but just not yet. But it hasn't been forgotten.
Yeah. So yes and no, basically.
Okay, fair enough.
It's interesting. Dad, what did you think of the two episodes, 2 and 3? A Girl and Her Blue Cat, and the episode 3, Adventurers.
So the one thing I've always said about Rebecca and why I slightly prefer her over Lucy is because she's independent from day one, whereas Lucy took a bit to get to that. And this chapter really showed it, because the moment Happy was free, she was able to grab a hold of Happy, and then she just went ham. And it was, considering she's someone who doesn't have ether gear, she's just got Happy as blasters, it really wasn't. It wasn't refreshing to see it again, because I remember when I read it in the manga, I was like, oh, yo, Rebecca's doing shit. So seeing it again was great. And I thoroughly enjoyed that episode. Episode 2 was a lot of fun to watch. Episode 3 was when we had the little cameo, wasn't it, of Lucy and Natsu, if I remember.
Yes, small cameo.
Now, as much as I shit on the shippers, I'm glad that's included, because it shows. Because if I remember correctly, when I was reading up on Rave Master, Fairy Tale had a lot of Rave Master
Yes.
Easter eggs. Now we've got a lot of Fairy Tale
Mhm.
Easter eggs. It shows that Mashima hasn't forgotten to do that, because that's something you're always going to enjoy and like. And it makes me think: are we gonna see any Rave Master Easter eggs? Has there been any? I don't think there has been.
I
But
think
no one's mentioned it anyway.
I think there's been one or two. I can't be too certain. Don't quote me on that, but I think there has. But they're in the background. Because okay, this kind of tangent. But you remember when they get to that one? It's a color page, and we see Ferris there from 100 Years Quest.
Yeah.
So he's done stuff like that where they have to show the characters, but he's also done stuff with with the buildings and the exterior of some places. So I think it has happened. Maybe we just haven't noticed it.
Possibly. I mean, I wouldn't notice because I didn't read past like chapter 15, but it would be nice. Things like that's why what I mean. I haven't seen anyone point it out from the people who have read it. So it'd be nice if we do end up with some Rave Master references as well. So I'm liking these little cameos now. For the actual episode itself, I enjoyed it because it was a chance. The first time where obviously the bit showed up, but then Shiki and Rebecca had a chance to sit and just talk and just relax rather than something always happening. Until obviously then we meet Weiss, or younger Weiss.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
So yeah, like you guys said, I really enjoyed the last two episodes, all three episodes, but 2 and 3 in particular. I like how they kept the backstory. And just a follow up on your point regarding Lucy's lack of independence early on. I would argue that Lucy was very sheltered because she was royalty, whereas Rebecca was essentially an orphan. So she had to be more independent, whereas Lucy didn't. That's kind of why, not kind of, but that's why she's more gung ho type person. Like, yo, you take my shit, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Oh no,
Where
definitely there's a reason for it, but it doesn't change the fact that early Rebecca versus early Lucy.
no, yeah. I
Yeah.
agree with you there, but I was just trying to give that little justification because I can't have this fairy tale slander. Only I could slander it. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, and then episode 3 just completely fucked everything up because it confused the shit out of people. I'm sure with the whole flash forward, which was great. And then I won't mention Discount Urza showing up because, eh. But
See, I didn't mind Discount Urza until something happened later on,
yeah,
which just that's at that point I was like, now I just don't care. Now I'm just like, whatever, bro.
um, so yeah, it was a great overall. I loved the dub so far. I'm really enjoying it.
The OP is great. The ED is great.
Yes. Um, on and I'm shamelessly plugging the Reddit because fuck you, why not? On the Reddit, on a little wiki page of their, because I know people don't like traveling to the Wikia sometimes, but on our wiki page we have the credits without text, so it's just the credits. So check it out. Um, or check out the. I don't think the Wikia is able to have credits like that or stuff like that. I don't know. King would know more about that.
What are we? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
More like posting clips and all that,
What do you mean, like lengthy
like the
clips?
credits, like the credits.
Like the credits of the episode?
Yes,
Can you post a creditless OP?
on the Wikia.
We call them wikis now. Wiki is our old term.
Well, I
In
call them
terms of
fandom. Yeah, go. I'm kidding.
yeah, in terms of the are we allowed to post the credits like video as it is?
Hmm.
So you get the video,
Probably
but then
not.
some of them are textless. So it's
Okay.
just the thing.
We aim for textless, but if when we're trying to get the information, we just usually scrub it from the thing and like transcribe it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there you go. Check out both, regardless. but the Reddit wiki has the textless credits for those too lazy to look it up online and check out the Wikia fandom, whatever they go by. Nice.
So, King, are you going to watch more Eden Zero?
Yes.
If you guys ask me to discuss it for the podcast, I will.
I'll be honest with you. Now, I'm not too fussed about discussing the anime because, I mean, it's just covering the manga, which we've talked about a lot. If you want, you could watch it, and whatever you've watched between podcasts, we can talk about with you. It's up to you.
Or
Yeah,
alternatively,
we'll think about it.
Alternatively, you take a month, finish watching the 12 episodes, and then we just do a recap of the season, review of the season overall, part 1.
Yeah, no, I'm open with that.
By the end of that as well, in a month's time, the season 1 will be actually finished because there's 20 episodes so far, and there's 25 in season 1.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and that way we do that, and then after that we talk Lucifer or whatever it's called. I'm just kidding. Anyway, Dav, what would you give those 3 episodes?
7 out of 10, 8 out of 10.
Okay, King. I'm guessing King's gonna give episode 2 a 10 out of 10 because Happy died.
Ooh, yeah, that was a great moment. Yeah, I'd say overall like 7 out of 10 for the collective 3. I'm not saying the episodes we're happy with live were bad episodes, but I think they would be like for me it's like okay-ish because like I already know Mishima's style of humor, but for someone who doesn't, it'd be very awkward.
Okay, fair. I'll give it an 8 just because I like the dub. I like the way that they handled it. I liked some of the animation and the fluidity of it, and I just like the colors. And not every anime has great colors. Just look at Fairy Tail Series 2 and Series 3, where they just like drowned out the color. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I meant more modern anime.
That's fair. With that out of the way, let us talk Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, Evening of Elentier. Who wants to go first? Oh, and you could read this on Sorcerer Weekly, Manga Dex, or join the Discord for a zip file of the chapter.
So I'm happy that the arc is basically finished.
You did confirm that it was going to take less than 3 chapters, so props to you.
Obviously, see, just further confirmation that I am in contact with Mashima.
I can confirm that I did give him the information.
King, do you want to go first?
I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say, to be honest. Like, this was really just like a party chapter. It's like I don't know if you guys read One Piece, but like we got them in Fairy Tail too all the time. But like, One Piece was really like probably the pioneer of these things of just like the arc's over, let's all like go party and shit and break shit and fight or whatever, and just have those quick resolutions to these tiny little minor issues or whatever. And simultaneously at the end we'll wonder about like what's the next step, what's the next part of the bigger picture, which in this case is what happened to Celine and Suzaku. And yeah, then they're going to return to Earthland. I don't know, like overall it's not really a chapter with much substance to it. It's just this is the resolution, goodbye.
I've never read One Piece. I don't waste my time with light novels.
Fair enough. It's a good manga.
I hate pirates. I hate a rubber fucking MC. The only rubber MC I like is Gumby. Just saying.
I don't know who that is.
Damn, I'm a boomer.
Whatever.
Dav, what did you think of the chapter?
I didn't care for the chapter.
Okay.
Like, personally, I it's not a bad chapter. I liked it because it's the wind down, it's the resolution. The fucking arc's finally fucking finished. Well, I hope, because now they're gonna go fucking find goddamn Selena Suzaku.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit worried that now that's going to be the plot now, but at least I have hope that the arc is over. I've been very fucking bored of it for a while, so I'm very pleased. And it was a fun chapter. You know, it was a whole little party, a nice resolution, the aftermath, but nothing really happened that made me care about it. Like, I could have not read it and moved on. I'm just not cared.
So both of you really didn't like or didn't care for the chapter, which is kind of weird because I care for the chapter. I like the chapter. I'm the odd man out. That should be the name of the podcast. Odd man out. I liked that it finally ended. I liked how they handled Alta Face. Yes, they destroyed it, but then the whiteout village still needed to do their magic to make sure it's completely destroyed and not ever happening again. I loved the interactions between Toka. It's Toka, right? The cat.
I believe so, yeah.
Toka and Happy. Because homie Carla was pissed.
I think that was the most entertaining part of the chapters. Carla's like straight up jealousy.
Her resting bitch face, bro.
It was more bitchier than normal.
I loved how Happy was finally getting love and he was happy. His tail is wagging. He's being all cutesy with Toka.
He's getting the little attention he deserves, isn't it?
Yeah, he deserves it. King doesn't give him the attention, so he has to get it from Toga. And I just love that. I liked how Lucy's the only one who's thinking about the actual fairy tale guild and just like, oh well, we're over here partying and having fun with these people, doing shenanigans. Our guild is waiting for us.
Well, I mean, we don't know that the others aren't thinking about that, right? Like, we only know that because we're reading Lucy's thoughts.
To be fair, we see that Urza is picking fights, Natsu is destroying buildings, and Gray is
right. We see that, but like we don't know what's in their head. Like they could also be thinking about it just like in the back of their head. I mean, I'm not saying they are, but it just seems like this is a general thing about what monologuing and narratives. Like we only know the thoughts of the character who's doing it. We don't know what the other's thoughts are, so we really shouldn't assume one way or the other.
I'm assuming. I'm assuming.
Whatever.
It happens. It's an assumption. You assume somebody's fucking species and you're over here complaining about my assumption of these motherfuckers' thoughts. Nah.
Same shit.
But yeah. I just like how she's thinking about the guild. Because it still shows that she's very much a fairy tale wizard. I kind of love the fact, and I told you, Dav, this, that Toka put Carla on notice. He's like, when Toka's like, happy somehow, I will be ever so lonely without you. And then Toka tells Carla to take care of him. So homegirl is on notice because she gonna lose her man. And then I like
this is a warning. Look after him. I'm coming for his ass.
Hey, bro, I'll be using that circle magic like Doctor Strange. Go into that fucking world and get him for me. That's what she's saying. I just like that little interaction. It's not nothing big, but it was funny and adorable. And I also liked the interaction between Ferris and Natsu. Because it reminded me a lot of Natsu versus Asuka when in that one shot, or not a one shot, but the bonus, the Omake, where he's like competing with her and he's like, I'm gonna give it my all, but he's really not. He's giving her a chance to win. I feel like he did something similar here where he's like, I'm gonna punch you as hard as I can because you controlled my guild mates and all this. And then it was just like a little love tap like Sasuke gave to Hinata.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of just it's a very common trope that you see. It's like it's my exact words, but like you don't know how I'm going to interpret it. It could be different from how you interpret it. Then I think a similar example would be in like the Dragon Ball Z movie Battle of Gods, where like Beer's like, oh, I'm going to destroy the Earth, and he just destroys like a small rock formation. It's like, oh, I destroyed Earth, just not very much of it. Same idea.
Fair, but this is Natsu, so you can never be too sure with him. He's
Well, yeah, you're right, but like I feel like I'm just saying like in general anybody could do the same thing.
yeah, I agree, but
So now I'm just surprised we haven't had the Nadu lot pipe up and go. Shippers. Nadu's doing
not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie to you. Ferris was a little thirsting for Natsu.
Yeah, this is
yeah.
why I'm surprised that the Nadu lot haven't piped up and gotten pissed about it.
And it's a cute little panel. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of like it. I mean, I'm not trying to piss off the Nalu fans, but I kind of like.
I mean, yes, you kind of are, but like that's okay.
Look, okay.
No,
Nadu
man.
ain't gonna happen, so
I look, man.
I give us something that's more likely to happen.
I just share my opinions. I thoroughly enjoyed that little head bop. It was nice and adorable. It's like, okay, remember that this is for you get for hurting my team, but I like this.
Now, see, what he did right is when he put his fist to her head.
No, he
right?
said it. He said it. I said thank you from the heart, homie. He
See,
said it.
man's talking from the heart, bro. But you see, when he tapped her on the forehead with his fist, right? What actually happened is we didn't see it because it's we've got to keep it sneaky. Right? He put his phone number on there and he stamped her head. So now she's got his number, fam. He's going to be calling.
I like that a lot, and then I loved the interaction after because she's like, I don't understand, and Natsu's just laughing, but Lucy's like, nah, homie, that's our Natsu. And contrary to popular belief, like King thought I did, I meant our as in Earthland, as in fairy tale, not our as in Lucy's. All right. So I just thought that was cute. But yeah. And yeah, that's how the chapter ends, and I liked it. So
Cool.
Chapter was nice. Just
you guys are over the arc, so I kind of get that you're like, I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck about this chapter. Just get me to the
Yeah, we really don't.
So King, what's your score? 6, 5, 4?
Yeah, I don't know, 6, whatever. I just don't really care. I'm a little bit curious about the Celine Suzaku thing, but that's really the only thing at this point.
Okay. Death.
yeah, same 6 or 7.
Spidey gives it a 8 because I liked it. I like the little moments. I have enjoyed this arc so far for the most part. For the most part, not all of it, but for the most part. So I'm not too bothered by the arc. So yeah, I'll give it an 8. They'll give it a 6, 7. And that's the end of the fairy tale discussion. As always, you can read the Sorcerer Weekly, Manga Dex, or the Discord. Like I said, we have the zip file for the chapter there. So now on to the topic that will give us the most to converse about. Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
Dav, do you want to start?
Okay,
yeah,
so
Mr. Controversial Opinion.
Odd man out.
Not a massive Marvel fan. It's not that I think it's just I've never gotten into it. So now when I see the movies come along, I'm like, oh, cool, a trailer. And all the trailers that we've been getting more and more recently with all the TV shows and so on have been pretty hype. I got this one and I watched it, and it sounds like it's going to be a funny movie, but at the same time, it kind of killed my hype because it sounds like it's going to be 2.5 hours of Tom Holland going around to the people that don't remember he's Spider-Man saying, yo, I'm Spider-Man. Obviously, Doctor Strange fucks up and, well, supposedly is likely to fuck up what the Spuddy's he's going to do. But my entire hype for the movie just kind of died because it feels like the entire movie is just based on, too many people know I'm Spider-Man. Wah. Make it so it doesn't happen. Wah. And then Doctor Strange, who's meant to be really smart, is warned not to do the spell. And he's like, how would I do it? And he goes and does it. So I feel like everyone's going full stupid. I don't know. All my hype for the movie is just kind of gone.
Yeah. Okay.
Spider-Man just dragged Doctor Strange down to his level.
So anyway, King, the trailer, pretty good trailer.
Yeah. I thought it was solid. Yeah.
So what did you think of the overall trailer? And then we could talk about certain parts of it. Since Dad doesn't want to talk about it because
No, I'll talk about it.
I
I'm just
mean-
saying that the hype died for it.
So before Dav arrived on the podcast, like when he was like AFK, you and I were talking about a tweet that I made where I basically said the trailer is good. I just don't want the whole catalyst of the movie to be Peter goes to Doctor Strange for help. Doctor Strange tries to help. Peter can't shut the fuck up, and all his words like mix up the spell or whatever, and that's how all this shit blows up. I'm like, please don't let it be like that. I mean, like, I don't want more fucking movies where like the whole plot could basically have just not happened because somebody could have kept if somebody had kept their mouth shut. It's like, shut up. And it's also like, okay, everybody's gonna forget. It's like the only real problem with that is like the Avengers would have forgotten, presumably not Doctor Strange, but like, okay, just like go back and fucking tell everybody. Like, Doctor Strange knows the other Avengers. He can be like, hey, this is, Spider-Man or whatever. And if like, assuming that Spider-Man wants the other Avengers to know who he is, and presumably he does. And obviously, like, if you could, like, Pepper and whoever, and he can very easily go talk to like his friends and his aunt and just be like, I'm Spider-Man and whatever, or just like literally set up that same ending scene from Homecoming where he takes off his mask and his aunt is like, what the it's like, I don't know, like so much of this stuff could just easily be resolved by a fucking conversation, and it's evidently not going to be. So, but instead we're gonna have to deal with all this like whole multiverse plot. But it's like, I want the multiverse plot. Don't get me wrong, I fucking love those scenes. I wasn't a big fan of Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. I thought he was a little bit too goofy in his original movie. But I'm happy to see him back, and I think he had his good aspects to him. But I think that like I don't want them to show up for this lame of a reason. Broadly speaking, yeah. That's my main thing with the trailer. But in general, like, I'm going to watch the movie anyway. For those who didn't know, the trailer view record actually broke the record of Avengers Endgame. And in terms of, like, most views within the first 24 hours or whatever, which is, I wouldn't say it's necessarily surprising. Like, Endgame was a different type of hype, but with Spider-Man, it was always, like, everyone wants like the old, like there's obviously the whole thing like, are we going to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and all those characters? And evidently not yet, but honestly we probably will at some point. But there's that. Plus, like, obviously there was like that thing a year and a half ago with like, I guess it's almost 2 years now. But yeah, like with that though, like, is Spider-Man going to stay in the MCU? Blah blah blah. Like it's a good trailer, don't get me wrong. Like, I just really I hope the plot is just different from what the trailer implies it to be.
It's just Tom Holland. It's Spidey crying that people know his identity, and
it's like, and he can't shut up. It's like, I understand like you need a plot, but like, don't make your plot something the actor does in real life by spoiling everybody on Twitter or in interviews with like random shit.
And I thought I hit it, Tom Holland. So this trailer basically made it seem like it's One More Day meets Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that. I was super fucking hyped during the trailer. I don't give a single fuck what y'all say. That shit was hype as fuck. I'm not even gonna complain about Tom fucking Holland because that motherfucker played it good in this trailer. This is the trailer, all right? Chill. I'm not complimenting the guy as an actor.
I'll compliment the guy as an actor. I think he's a good actor. But I just think in terms of like, what they're doing to the character, making him a complete dumbass, I don't want that.
Yeah, because he's Iron Boy. He's not Spider-Man. But that's
like, I don't want that.
Homie, he's in the MCU, so he's gonna be Iron Boy. It's fine though, cause I love that shit in this trailer. People are gonna be like clipping me and be like, "I love that shit." No. In this trailer, I really like.
Speaking of like Iron Man, but I have another thing to talk about. We can talk about that after the Spider-Man discussion, though.
Okay.
I know what I'm leaning towards, but
yeah, I got you. I loved. There was a reference to Electro from Amazing Spider-Man. There was a reference to Sandman, potentially from
Sandman.
From fucking the original Spider-Man.
Sandman's one of my favorite villains, bro. There's a fucking walking sandcastle, bro.
He really is. We obviously had the Willem Dafoe laugh with the Goblin Bomb. We have Otto Octavius coming back from Spider-Man 2. And people, I love the internet because they brighten the scene when Peter is in the tunnels before the before the Goblin Bomb. And you could see like the look of the lizard from Amazing Spider-Man 1. So we're getting a Sinister Six basically. So I'm super hyped for that. There's a lot of speculation that at the end when he says hello Peter, he's not talking to Tom, but rather to the motherfucker he knows as Peter, aka Mr. Tobey Maguire. There's a bunch of leaked set photos and all this shit and conversations that certain actors had that confirm some stuff. So everything.
I'll also add a couple things to that. For one, a couple months ago, I don't remember which one it was, but there was an Instagram photo posted of Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire hanging out together. So I think that pretty much is the confirmation that Tobey is in the movie to some extent. Not that he would be a main character, but he's there. And I would also add that I think you're right, and the main reason is like I just don't think the scenes don't really match where like Doc Ock shows up and says hello Peter, and then like in the trailer it's like Spider-Man on top of the car turning on the Iron Spider suit. I don't think those aren't from the same scene. I think there's two scenarios that like either it is him saying hi Peter to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, or alternatively he does say it to Tom Holland, but it's in a different scene. And the reason he's saying hi Peter is because he knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man in his universe, so he just assumes I'm in an alternate universe. Peter Parker is probably still Spider-Man. So Spider-Man alternatively is still Peter Parker.
Yeah. Shit is gonna be lit.
Or actually crazier thought that I just thought of, maybe he fights Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and thinks of it the same fucking way, right?
Stop.
It's plausible.
Stop. Just don't play with my heart.
That'd be pretty cool though if you think about it.
It would be the greatest thing ever. Stop. Don't play with my heart. Going back to your Toby comment, an actor recently confirmed JB Smooth, I think. Smooth is his name. JB Smooth or Smooth? I don't remember.
JB Smooth. I don't know this guy.
He's an actor. He confirmed that Toby's in it, and he talked about how it's gonna be fun seeing him. And I'm not gonna spoil it for people, but it basically confirmed that he's gonna be in it. But yeah, this trailer's gonna be fucking amazing. Now, something we all agree on is what the fuck is Doctor Strange doing? Right? We're like, why is he helping this fucking kid with his angsty problems?
This is the thing that is kind of killed it for me. Now, obviously, I understand that trailer doesn't. Trailer puts stuff out of context, so we don't know. There could be more to reason why he's doing this memory erase, we'll just call it, right? But to me, it just feels like I understand why Peter is struggling with the idea that everyone knows he's Spider-Man. I can understand that, and I can get, he doesn't want people to know anymore because there's a pain, blah 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 blah. But now he goes to Doctor Strange, who's meant to be one of the smartest people on, in the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
He's also got this capability of he can basically do anything because it's magic. Now he's helping this kid with people forgetting that he's Spider-Man. I can't help but feel like it's like a nerf to Doctor Strange. Like they're dragging Doctor Strange down to this childish situation, because it seems like the entire movie is built upon a childish situation. I understand it's difficult, everyone knowing he's Spider-Man, but that's the it's the consequence, I guess, of, it was Civil War that happened that caused everyone to know everyone's identities, right?
No, it wasn't.
Which one was it?
It was Far From Home.
I fully forgot that most of that movie then. But now that everyone knows, it's kind of the consequence of...
he didn't reveal it by choice. It was a villain who threw it out
remember,
there.
in the trailer, it literally says that Mysterio confirmed that
Yeah,
Spider-Man, Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, but no, if you're gonna be a superhero, right, and someone finds that and people reveal that information, you can't take liberties and go to Magic Man and be like, "Oh, erase it," because that realistically should have a massive effect if you do. Because if you take that memory out of people's mind, it should have some kind of negative effect.
I think that's debatable. It depends. Like there are different shows that have handled that in a different way. Like
Yeah, but
sometimes they just
when you're
blanket.
removing however many fucking people are on Earth, affecting all their memories, I feel like the time gods are going to be like, "Hey."
Well, I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, it's like if you're some random ass dude in like the Philippines or something who saw the news broadcast and figured out Peter Parker was Spider-Man, it's like, okay, but like, how much does that really affect your life? Is it going to change the way you do your day to day? Most
But it's
likely
still
not.
like billions of people's memory.
Right, it is, but like, I don't think that for the overwhelming majority of people, it poses any significant difference to their day to day lives.
I guess not. I don't know. I just don't like how it's such a stupid premise to build off of.
I get you. I get what you're saying. I'm in the mindset that it's Mephisto.
Of course he would be.
No. Hear me out.
I'm listening because of one more day, right?
That and because in the comic, we already know that Wanda fucked the universe, and we all know that. And then Loki fucked it even more by kissing himself, and then had the gang get killed. And now we have Doctor Strange out of nowhere coming up with a spell to make sure it works well. And we in the comics, Mephisto wants Spider-Man's soul more than fucking anything else.
He wanted their marriage.
He wants Spider-Man's soul. I think in the comic it was his marriage.
It was his marriage.
Yeah, but he's not married in this one.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
But
so you're saying the Mephisto of the MCU would want Spider-Man's soul?
Because in the comics, Mephisto does want Spider-Man's soul because there's an issue with Deadpool, where Spider-Man and Deadpool, where Mephisto wants Spider-Man's soul, and Spider-Man's gonna kill someone. I forgot the exact reason, but Deadpool ended up being a bro and killing instead, and Mephisto lost his shit because Spider-Man's soul is like the most pure and whatnot.
Yeah, and he didn't want Deadpool's because Deadpool's annoying.
Yeah.
Just a quick question, slight tangent.
Yeah.
Why is Deadpool not included in the entire Avengers line, if you get what I mean?
Well, because the character rights were owned by Fox, and Fox put him more with their X-Men thing. And now that Disney owns Fox, he can be. They just haven't worked the situation out yet.
Oh, okay, so it's not an in-universe thing. It's a rights licenses kind.
It's a rights thing. Yeah. Same with like the Fantastic Four and all those guys. Carry on.
So I'm just thinking, and this is funny enough. I saw this on TikTok, but the wink, bro, the fucking wink. We have Agatha Harkness do the wink.
Yeah.
In WandaVision. We have my boy Kang do the wink in Loki. Now we have Doctor fucking Strange doing the goddamn wink. Nah, something don't.
I will say, like, according to one of the guys working on the Doctor Strange movie, I don't know what his name was, but basically he said Doctor Strange in the time since Endgame has gotten like more arrogant because he believes himself to be the most powerful. So I think that could also be part of the reason why he's agreed to help Spider-Man. It's like I can do anything. I'm Doctor Strange. I'm the Sorcerer Supreme. Blah blah blah. So I'm gonna this is a crazy request, but I'm Doctor Strange. I can fucking do it, and nothing's gonna happen. So I'll do it. But Spider-Man evidently appears to fuck shit up,
as is tradition with Tom Holland.
Well, I feel like Spider-Man's fucked up a lot of things in Marvel in general, but
yeah. But yeah, I feel like I don't feel like that's Doctor Strange because yes, he has his arrogance, but it's also
so you're saying someone's impersonating Doctor Strange?
Yes, I feel like it's not him at all.
Okay, so that's where you're coming with the Mephisto thing.
Yeah, because a lot of people have been thinking about Mephisto since WandaVision.
And they were all wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's an imposter, I wouldn't mind that per se, because, like I said, my main problem is it's dragging this Doctor Strange down to the stupid level. So if it's an imposter, then I can get with the plot.
Yeah, because I don't think Doctor Strange is arrogant.
But he's not stupid.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know that he's doing something stupid though.
No, definitely not. But from the trailer, it feels like it. That's why my hype has kind of gone down. Because
I feel like Spider-Man's being the stupid one.
Oh no, he is. But
but that's the thing, though.
Doctor Strange is enabling it. Yeah. If someone comes to you and he's like, I want to do stupid A, B, and C, and you go, no, don't do that because you're not stupid, right? But then if you then turn around and go, yeah, let's do stupid A, B, and C, you're now just as stupid as that person. That's my problem.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I agree with that. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like there has to be more to why Strange agrees to it. Like I do, I think the arrogance. I think the arrogance is part of it for sure, based on what the director or whoever it was on who said. But like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to. It doesn't seem like it's stupid enough for me to jump to the idea that this isn't Doctor Strange. Like, so because basically then the whole movie, it's going to be like that Nick Fury scene in Far From Home. Like the whole movie, we thought it was Nick Fury. It's not really Nick Fury, and they're just going to be repeating the same plot line all over again.
I mean, yes and no, because Nick Fury was essentially good, but if it's somebody that's evil...
Well, no, it's not about good or bad, but it's just like the idea that like the whole character we've been seeing all this time in the movie isn't really the character. It is somewhat different. Like, yeah, good versus bad is a different issue, but like it's still repetitive, and I don't think they would do that.
Most of their origin stories are kind of similar and consistent.
I mean, origin stories are generally repetitive. Like, there's not a whole lot that are very unique.
Yeah. I just don't know. I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like something Strange would do, even with his arrogance. And if he's in the movie, wouldn't he just be able to resolve this shit really quick? Because a lot of the thing is that this movie leads into Doctor Strange
Multiverse of Madness. Yeah.
Yes. And in Multiverse of Madness, it's the rumor by people who are very, yes, they're not in the know maybe with Marvel and all them, but they have been very accurate so far in some of the shit they've said.
Okay, so what are they saying is going to happen exactly?
They're saying that Wanda is the villain in Doctor Strange 2.
I don't think that's implausible, but I feel like there has to be more to it than just that.
Mephisto, bro.
Of course, it's Mephisto. Honestly, Mephisto should have been in just fucking WandaVision or something to that effect. That would have made things so much easier.
Him being in WandaVision would have worked better.
Yeah,
because that would
what they actually ended up doing.
Because it would have nicely introduced him, and then we could have been like, oh, he's impersonating Strange, so he's gonna take over and yada yada yada, and that's how we get.
Or just like straight up that he's been manipulating Wanda into doing all this shit, and Doctor Strange is like, hey, this is what's been happening. I'm here to help you.
Yeah, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm excited for this shit. Oh, another thing we should talk about. We talked about it briefly before the podcast. Is I don't know if you know this, Dev. The guy who plays Ned. Tom Holland's friend in the movie. He lost a lot of weight, and he's been wanting to play Hobgoblin for such a long time. So maybe
Hobgoblin's one of my favorite villains, so I am very excited for that.
So maybe he's Hobgoblin. I hope. I'm just excited for the fact if this movie does well and it has Toby and Andrew and the reception to them is amazing, I guarantee you Sony will bring back those Spider-Man in movies.
I don't know that Tobey Maguire would agree to it. Andrew Garfield could possibly, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, no, because there's a comic issue that there was being rumored of being adapted with our boy Toby.
I mean, the thing about that is, like, in general, if Toby's coming for this movie, I think he'd only be coming for like a small role because the actor is he's really not acting these days. He's mostly just doing independent stuff, doing some directing, filmmaking stuff. He's more behind the scenes now.
I get you. I'm just hoping because you guys know
Yeah,
how I
it's
feel.
cool.
You
He
guys
doesn't
know how.
actually look like that much older, to be honest.
No, he doesn't. There was a meme that Dav posted. Is gold. Dav.
Which one?
The emo Spidey with Tom Holland.
Oh,
Was it the one where they're all dancing?
No.
I've got it here.
We don't talk about
Send it later.
Oh, there we go. I posted it.
that one. I want that scene.
Oh, I feel like I've seen this on Twitter, but yeah, no, fair enough.
You would have. It made its rounds.
It's
No,
probably. Yeah, this one has like 200,000 likes. So yeah.
I like how the moment this trailer came out, everybody started reliving and posting clips or scenes from like Toby as Spider-Man, from Andrew as Spider-Man, and then just talking about how they hope they do well. Because you know what, if this movie does well, I just want more Spider-Man.
Yeah, same.
It'd be great. You'd have 3 different Spider-Man. They wanted to get they wanted to get Toby and Andrew and Tom more into the Spider-Verse, but Sony said no. Sony or Disney, one of them said no. So,
Well, I mean, Sony owns it, so presumably it was either Disney who said no, or Sony just decided against it themselves.
so I'm excited for what Sony's bringing to the Spider-Man universe, and I'm calling it Spider-Man universe with Morbius, Venom, Enter the Carnage looks good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
What else? Nah, there's not much we could talk about. Dav, any other thoughts?
So if we're gonna have this multiverse situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
This might be a stupid question, but I feel like it's not that. So you've obviously got the different, we'll call them universes of Spider-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Strength-wise, Spider-Man as a character is one of the strongest Avengers, right? Like the dude has to hold his punches and shit.
Yes.
No, not really.
Oh, not I don't know strongest Avengers, but I know he's one of the stronger
Like in
characters.
terms of like street level heroes, like sure, but like he's nowhere up there with like Thor, or Sentry, or those guys.
But those are cosmic heroes. Those are
That's my point.
Cosmic. I'm not talking about cosmic. I'm talking about just like
or he's talking about Earthland heroes. The Earthland, right?
Earth-based heroes, yeah, probably he's up there. I wouldn't say he's necessarily the top, but like he's up there. Like certainly, probably like I'd still say he's weaker compared to like the Thing or Colossus or those guys, but you know he's not bad at all.
He clapped the Hulk a couple times.
Yeah, but like that wasn't like a pure strength thing. Like he can beat the Hulk in a fight, but like that involves multiple things. I'm just talking about like pure strength, like who can lift more, basically.
Okay, that's fair.
So now, when you have these multiple different Spider-Men that come into this universe, right? We might see it during the movie, but would there be an apparent or an obvious strength gap between them, or not really? I don't know if you can really answer it. This is just a question I have because since the trailer dropped, there's been a lot of clips on Twitter of the different fights from the older movies. And the one thing I will say, and I forgot about these, the fights in all the other Spider-Man movies have actually been really fucking enjoyable to watch cinematography-wise.
Yeah.
They've really been like really fucking good. And then even in the MCU, the Spider-Man fights have been really good, but I feel like they haven't. This might just be nostalgia glasses, but I feel like they haven't been as enjoyable as the older ones.
No, I'm not.
I think it depends. Like I think the first Spider-Man movie was not great on that front, but the second one with like Doc Ock and the train scene in particular was like wonderful, one of the best ones out there. And even Spider-Man 3 with the Venom and the Sandman was still really good, and even the Amazing Spider-Man has some very good parts too. So what I would say is like I don't think it would. I think the biggest differences in how they work would be what they do. Like Spider-Man, for like Tom Holland's Spider-Man uses the Iron Spider suit, whereas like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are both like their whatever, call it spandex or whatever suits. Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield obviously use the mechanical shooters. Tobey Maguire is organic, so you could even end up with a scene where one of those dudes runs out and Toby's like, "Oh wait, you don't just make your own," or something
Isn't
to
there
that
already a
effect.
scene where they're like,
Yeah,
oh no, it was a meme that I saw.
that was a meme.
It's probably
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
get your mechanical shooter out. And so I was like, wait, what?
One of the things that will be noticeably different is their experience.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So the other two, in my opinion, probably have. I'm not gonna say a major more.
not a
experience.
lot more, but a little more. Like,
Yeah.
if you think like Tobey
They haven't
Maguire's
had someone
like,
else to carry them like Iron Man.
Well, yeah, no, look,
yeah,
experience
they've been
and
all on their own
age.
except for like a little bit.
Yeah, experience and age, because Peter, the Raimi Peter, was in college and he was fighting.
No, he just like started at the end of high school. Maguire's was like in no, Andrew Garfield's was in high school and finishes high school at like the end of the movie or the beginning
Yeah.
of the second movie,
No,
or whatever it was.
that's what I'm saying. But Tom is still in high school in his two movies.
Yeah,
So hopefully, and by the third one too, by the looks of it. So
yeah.
it'd be age and experience.
So strength-wise, they
Plus-
might not necessarily be too different, but it'll be a case of experience and how they utilize
Experience
their
and like
strengths.
equipment.
I would argue strength-wise, the first two would be stronger because their villains actually tried to kill them. The Holland villains didn't really try to kill him. They
I
tried
will
to
say
hurt
that
him.
Well,
the
well, they
I'll say the
didn't- they-
Holland
well, I
villains,
think-
the Holland Spider-Man feels a lot more family-friendly.
Well, it is, but like it's also different. Like how they try. Like what's his face? Mysterio was ready to kill him, but like he wasn't gonna like jump in there and do that shit himself. Whereas with Andrew Garfield's, like the Lizard was very like it was like very fist fight type of thing. So it would be different in that regard.
Yeah, but that's my point, though. Tom Holland's don't.
I don't know that necessarily translates to to a strength increase for Andrew Garfield.
I think that's more of an experience thing because
Yeah.
experience.
Holland will go against them and he won't feel as much malicious intent because he might not have experienced what they were initially like. Whereas the other two will be like, "Oh shit, this motherfucker's back for round 2. Oh fuck me!
I can't
Well,
wait. I
what's
can't.
that?
You know what started this entire speculation? Everything was when Jamie Foxx got cast as Electro again, and he posted that fan art, and on his Instagram he put "Tell the 3 Spider-Man to run it back," and he had like the fan art had Tom, Toby, and Andrew, which is it started this whole fucking craze. So I'm excited for this shit.
Oh fuck! Excuse me.
Whoa. Okay. Dev, is there anything else you want to add while we wait for this, man?
No, you guys can talk. I'll be commentating. I fucked up something really really bad. Oh my god! Wow, that's embarrassing.
Oh.
So how many?
What the fuck was I thinking?
So how many Spider-Mans are we gonna have in total? It's me 3, right?
So okay, confirmed is only Tom.
It's only
and
Tom Holland.
Oh,
Tom
so the
and-
others
and-
are a speculation.
They're not
If-
official. They are speculation. We're just guessing based on the nature of the production and also the Instagram thing with Toby and Tom.
So here's the thing. I feel like Toby is confirmed because there's an actor or two that are in the movie that confirm that Toby's in it. Andrew is more of a rumor because of set leaks, but not confirmed. I'm hoping that in the next trailer, because this is a teaser trailer, in the next trailer they do not show Toby or Andrew. They save that for the fucking movie, so people could lose their shit. But other
Okay,
than
so it likely wouldn't be more than 3.
well, here's the thing though. On a couple of the set photos that they've released, Feast is involved. Feast is like a food organization. I don't know if you played the Spider-Man game.
I have, yes.
So you know Feast.
Yeah.
That is tied to Miles. There is rumors and speculation based on certain leaks. I cannot confirm if these are real or not because I haven't seen this, but the kid from Stranger Kids, what's his name? I'm not trying to be racist, but the black kid from Stranger Things,
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's not
Yeah.
racist.
the main kid,
Yeah.
they said there's a picture that shows him in a suit, CG, obviously it's gonna be a CGI suit, or he's walking. There's people are saying that's from the set of Spider-Man 3, No Way Home. If that is true, people are speculating that he could be playing Miles Morales.
So then
That
we
could
could
be-
have 4. Because I was wondering about Miles, because we had the Into the Spider-Verse, which then obviously had the mix of all the other Spider-Men and
Mhm.
Spider Animals.
So
So I assume it would be a bit too soon I assumed it might be a bit too soon to have a Miles situation
I
fully
think
developed in
I
the
think
MCU.
I don't know if Sony would do that because I know Sony is very proud of the fact of the work they did in Into the Spider-Verse.
It
And
can
I
be its
know,
own
yeah,
story. But how old was Spider-Man when Miles became a thing?
he died. Okay, in the comics, Spider-Man dies and Miles takes up the mantle of Spider-Man.
Okay, so then if I know it's not true to the comics for the MCU, but it would still seem it would be a bit too soon to actually have a Miles,
Or if
unless
they
it's
do
another timeline.
yeah, or if they do introduce him, they could be like, no, he's not from Tom Holland's universe. He's from another universe, like you said. Because I mean, like for all we know, they could probably be like, yo, Andrew and Miles are working together in another universe, kind of like they did with the Spider-Man.
Or like, the Miles character is from one of those universes.
Yeah.
Which then, that could be good.
So there's a lot of rumors.
Yeah, like actually, even like considering what I said earlier about Tobey Maguire's character, like with the actor not really acting anymore, like well, yeah, like they could kill his character off, and Miles Morales in that universe takes up the mantle.
That could work actually. That would be pretty.
I just hope after this Spider-Man movie, Tom Holland Spider-Man isn't a little bitch and actually acts like fucking Spider-Man. I just need him to act like Spider-Man.
Just quickly on a note of Tom Holland being able to produce his webs organically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why did they change that?
Well, the comic character is the guy who uses it mechanically. It was Tobey Maguire who changed it to organics.
Yeah.
I think the only reason I can really think of as to why they would do that is just because like if he's so poor, how does he afford all the web shooting material? Like in the comics, like he has the thing with the day job to like a little support it a little bit, but in this case, let's just eliminate that question.
Yeah, Sam Raimi was like, you know what, we're gonna make it easy for this guy. He's gonna have them made through his hand. And this is what annoys me now, because that you mentioned it. Tom Holland doesn't really make his shit anymore. He has Iron Man make it for him.
But that's been his problem.
Well, no, he made his web shooting material
originally, but then he got his suits and he didn't.
Well, did they confirm that the suits are Iron Man's web shooting material? Because he was still web shooting like at the end of like Homecoming.
I don't see if Iron Man is capable of making all this stuff for him. I don't see why he wouldn't offer to improve his web.
And don't forget, he did.
Well, I mean, maybe he did, but like my point is, like he could still be using his own.
In the high school, he got his old suit and he had his old web shooters on there.
Right.
So, Spider-Man in MCU is dependent on Iron Man.
He is. Right, I agree with that part, but like I'm saying, like it could still be the case that he makes his own, regardless of Iron Man, or Iron Man just gives him the money to make his own or something like that. Because like Iron Man was even like impressed by that material, so like he probably didn't have it like ready made on his own.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't pay attention to the MCU Spider-Man as much. I will rewatch the movies. I might this upcoming week. I have a lot of days off for work. I might just binge watch all the Spider-Man movies, the original Raimi, then my favorite, which is the sequels, Into the Spider-Verse, and even the MCU ones. It's gonna be so exciting. December 17th, people. We're not sponsored by Disney or Marvel, but December 17th. Yet. King's got.
Yeah, sorry, I'm working on it. Speaking of what we're working on, though, can we talk about the thing I also want to talk about related to Iron Man?
Yes, go ahead.
So for those who didn't see it, apparently there's been like some footage leak of them filming Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, basically. And what they're apparently doing there is recently they announced that in the comics, the character Riri Williams, who takes over from Iron Man or whatever, she will be making her debut in that, and she's an MIT student, and they're filming in Atlanta, Georgia, and the idea that we're getting so far appears to be that since Iron Man is dead in the MCU and it doesn't look like Robert Downey Jr. is coming back anytime soon, it looks like the Wakandan characters are kind of going to be the intermediaries. So like they already hired the actress back in 2020, like December. Kevin Feige announced her name was like Dominique Thorne, was going to be Riri Williams, aka Ironheart, and she's going to have her own series, but make her debut in Black Panther 2, evidently. So like the idea seems to be that Shuri and whoever comes with her from Wakanda will be like recruiting her, and she jumps into like the Iron Man stuff from there. But I'm curious what you think about that, Spidey, if you've had a chance to look at it, and I'll tell my opinion after.
I'm interested. I'm more confused by what Black Panther 2 is gonna be
Okay.
because it's been
I read some info about that too, but I'll get to that in a minute.
It's been over a year since Chadwick Boseman passed away.
Yeah, like literally like this past week marks a year.
Rest in peace. He was such a great Black Panther, so I don't know what they're. I understand. I trust Ryan Coogler and the team working on Black Panther 2. I just don't know what it's gonna be. So that's what scares me.
So from what I've read, like there were some set leaks, like including the ones I mentioned earlier, that apparently inscribe the death of the character.
Yeah.
So it does seem to be the case that they're going to kill off the character because Kevin Feige also said during the Disney Investors thing last year that they will not recast T'Challa. So the idea that some fans are coming up with is because we've been talking about the theory for a while ever since Endgame came out that the villain is going to be Namor, who is the ruler of Atlantis, and that like, he was the one who like was responsible for the underwater earthquake or whatever that Okoye mentioned. Mm-hmm. So what happens? The idea is like he's going to end up killing T'Challa, or like T'Challa or whatever will like sacrifice himself to stop Namor, and by that measure, Namor will realize the error of his ways or whatever, and he'll form like a kind of tentative alliance with the Wakandans, and then Shuri will take over as Black Panther. So that's what they're thinking about there. Yeah. But my question, like regarding going back to the Ironheart thing, is I'm not sure that I like this idea of the Wakandans being the intermediaries, because when I was first reading through the investors meeting, like materials that they were presenting or whatever, my idea what they would have done, and I think should have done because it would just be more cohesive, is they should have actually just gotten Don Cheadle to play the role that Tony Stark did in the comics, because obviously they can't have Robert Downey Jr. because presumably he doesn't want to come back anytime soon, and I think that would have just been better because like I don't know why they would bring the Wakandan characters to America and then have her like work from Wakanda. We have all this advanced tech that is like the Wakandan files. It's like an extra document or whatever like that they released as an extra. That apparently the nanotech for Iron Man's suit in Infinity War was based on Wakanda tech. So it's like he's getting help from them. So it's like, well, if Dominique Thorne wants to become like, if her character wants to become Ironheart, why is she going through the Wakandans when they could give her theoretically something better? Because if they can. So it's like, why are they doing that? Why not just have like finish the Armor Wars series and then have Don Cheadle do what Tony Stark did in the comics and become like let him help her become Ironheart and kind of move the Wakandans out of it, because she's American in the comics, and I feel like it would just be more. It just seems like a more straightforward idea to have her do that stuff.
This is what's confusing me too, because in the comics, Tony helps Rhea a lot. He endorses her and helps her become a superhero, and obviously,
I think he funds her too.
Yeah, he does. So I don't know why they didn't do like you said, either have Pepper Potts or fucking Rhodey
Yeah.
just be
The
like,
reason
yo,
I'm saying Rhodey in particular is because like we already have the Armor Wars series announced, and to
Mhm.
me that would be like a better lead-in than putting her in Black Panther 2 and involving the Wakandans. That just seems like an unnecessary extra step when you already have the other stuff like more, I think, more easily accessible, because it
definitely.
also, I don't know what they're up to with that.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I'll trust them because I trust the director.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll be good. It's just like I feel like this would be a more simplistic, straightforward way, and obviously, like I'm not trying to like make this like a racial thing or whatever, but like I feel like having that aspect with their characters in the 2020 would just be appeasing to more people. Like I personally wouldn't care because I just want it to be good either way. But I feel like there are people who care about that, and you have like an avenue to push that forward. So
Mhm.
why not just like go straight forward all in with Don Cheadle and you have like other characters if you want them as background characters?
That's true. I just hope something like that happens. I hope they change their mind or don't
Yeah.
make her Wakandan. Maybe
I don't
she's
think they're making her Wakandan. Like she's an MIT student already at the start of the movie from based on what we know. So I think she is American.
okay. Okay, so
Unless they're changing that too, which I
I
really wouldn't want.
yeah. Hopefully it's just okay. Yeah. Well, hopefully they figure this shit out. Um, we could talk more about this next podcast because our recording
Yeah,
is.
power's hitting.
Yeah. Well,
Limit.
Powers Craig runs for like 6 hours if we ask for it, but
Okay.
it's all good.
That's if he stays on for that long.
This is,
Well, I mean, Craig isn't the one who's been giving us trouble these last couple of weeks.
that's true. But yeah, I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with that. Do you have any final thoughts on that?
Not necessarily. Overall, I'm excited for the movie itself, but I've just that the whole plot has just kind of fallen for me. But I'm not gonna be pessimistic about it. Like, I think it will be good.
See, because here's one thing I gotta say: if Namor kills Black Panther T'Challa,
Uh-huh.
how the fuck can we expect Shuri to actually defeat Namor? Like she wouldn't, because she's
Well,
not
that's
on his
that.
level.
I agree. Well, I agree with that, but like that was my idea. Why I said like Namor will realize the error of his ways. Like he didn't mean to kill T'Challa. It happened, and that's why he forms like a tentative alliance because like he realized the error of his ways. People realize he's sorry or whatever. Maybe the Wakandans were also partly in the wrong for like doing something bad to the Atlanteans or something, and that's how they like kind of form an alliance a bit. So they're
Oh,
not like fully antagonistic. So Shuri doesn't actually have to fight Namor as a result.
okay,
It's like yeah, he would wreck her.
okay, okay. Cool. All right. So Dev hates the Eden Zero anime. He's not excited for No Way Home, and he said he's dropping Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest.
I mean, that last one is very possible. That last one's
Yeah.
plausible, depending on how the next arc goes, because Celine fucking bored me. But the other two, no.
True.
Okay, King, your famous outro.
Okay, everybody, thank you very much for listening. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do so. The podcast will be posted up on YouTube without too much delay, I hope. But we'll see. You know, shit happens sometimes and we can't really control it. That's just how shit is. So otherwise, stay safe and we will be back in a couple of weeks with the next episode. Reminder, and actually, Spidey, we should talk about this, but like we can take fan questions at some point if we want, or if they want us to like talk about a specific topic, we can do that. So we'll maybe like prompt them with like, you know, calling their attention to the notice with a server role or whatever.
Yeah.
Next
So-
time we post a podcast, I'll add that in.
I didn't want to add it
yeah.
this one because we talked a lot about No Way Home.
Yeah. But like, I don't
Yeah.
know if we have like many more topics that are coming up with the next planned podcast. So we'll see. And we could possibly lengthen it or just like do a separate podcast for different stuff. I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to do one of those fun podcasts again, like we did last year with Andrew and Lizzie, but we'll contemplate the idea because I would like to just have more content kind of put out there.
That's fine. We could do that. We'll set it up. We will have it, and it'll be a separate podcast, kind of like
Yeah.
the fun podcast and the
With,
I'll
you know,
talk-
other people too
Mhm.
who are fun to talk to.
Man said, I don't want boring people. I respect it.
I,
All right.
mean, I really don't. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not saying people who are listening to this are bored, but like there might be a boring person among you, and I want to make sure that that person doesn't get chosen because then nobody's going to give a shit about their opinion,
True.
right? Yeah.
No, you're
Okay.
fair.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, take care, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Bye, guys.
Laters.